Alright, so here's my dilemma a long time ago, right? I have temperature control in my conical, which is right over there. Ba-dum. Right, but what if I wanted to brew a lager in my carboy and I wanted precise temperatures? Well, I looked around and I was looking for something, and this was the perfect thing right here. This is made by Anvil Brewing Company. It's a little temperature control for my glycol. The probe goes into here, airlock goes into there. So, does it work? Let's check it out. I'm brewing a pale ale right now, and it's winter. Shouldn't be that hard to keep it that cool, but let's see how she does. All right, there it is, carboy, $99. That's the pump, the cooling coil, the lines, the stopper, everything that you could imagine that you need is right there. I pieced mine together from Harbor Freight and things that I had laying around, and I didn't need to buy that whole kit, but that's $99. There you go, it's beautiful. Fits in the carboy. It says that it's a number 7 stopper that does fit inside of the big mouth bubbler, which I think calls for a 6.5 size stopper. This is made for glass carboys. You can see here with my plastic 5-gallon carboy, the stopper that they supply is not large enough. Some 3/16 inside diameter tubing works great. I've had no leaks using no clamps either. Okay, because of how the cooling coil is so close to the temperature probe, what I'm most skeptical on is how the temperatures are going to differ between the middle and the outside of the fermenting wort. Alright, so let's check it out. We got a temperature probe running from the outside of the fermenter tucked in some paper towel to one temp controller, which is just going to read the temperature. The other one is running to the probe that's inside of the Anvil Brewing controlling cooling coil. So I got 2 controllers that will tell me the difference of the temperatures between the outside and the inside of the fermenting wort. All right, so let's pitch our yeast and let's get off to the races here. So first thing when I woke up this morning, I went downstairs and checked the fermenter, and this is what it looked like. Quickly plugged in the cooling system, and that is exactly what I expected to happen. The Anvil one is cooler than the outside. Okay, test number 2, I had to bump the one temperature controller down to 63 degrees to get it to go. So you'll see that the outside is not changing, the inside is. So the question is, will they ever balance out? All right, a couple mornings later, here we are, 1/10 of a degree different. That's acceptable to me. We are at high Krausen. Later that day, when I get home, the temperatures are within 0.3 of a degree. So we're at peak fermentation and it's holding its temps. All right, so it's holding its temperature during peak fermentation. So right there, the cooling coil is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. However, I'm gonna take it a step further and we're gonna see how it reacts and performs during a little bit of cold crashing temperatures. So what would it max out at? It ended up maxing out at 16 degrees different from the ambient basement temperature. Dropped it to 46 degrees from 63. All right, that's my honest, unbiased, unpaid review of the Anvil cooling coil. I like it. It's not my first time using it. I know its limitations. I know what to expect of it. Couple things that I will mention. When you first get it and you're trying to get the cooling coil through the 4-hole stopper, major pain in the butt. I don't remember how long it took me, but it took me a while and I was not pleased. Second thing would be, you don't have to, but I would recommend using the 1-piece S-shaped airlock. The 3-piece is a little bit bulky. It kind of hits the cooling coil and then it kind of protrudes out a little bit, which kind of leads me into my third thing, which would be condensation. There's a little bit of water that accumulates on top of the stopper. Not a big deal, but in this case, I did cold crash slightly with it. So when I yanked the airlock, I wanted to make sure that I dabbed all of the condensation before I let it drip into my beer. So dab it, yank the airlock, I put a piece of duct tape over it, done. So that's it. So Cooling coil was hard to get through the stopper. The airlock, you want to use a one-piece one ideally, and the condensation is something to think about, which you're always going to have with something like this. So that's what I think. Cheers. Let me know what you think, and comment, subscribe, do things that make me happy. Cheers. See you next time.